think about a completely blank plot of land. It's not just empty space, is it? It's sort of buzzing with possibility, like an artist staring at a fresh canvas, or explorers maybe setting foot on an undiscovered shore. That's kind of the potential we're looking at with the landing at Prince William County, Virginia. Feels like a place really on the edge of something interesting.
Absolutely. And for this deep dive, we're looking at the landing at Prince William Small Area Plan, this document you shared with us. Our goal here isn't just to, read through it. It's to really get the vision behind this planned evolution. What makes it so key for the region?
Exactly. We're not just talking about new buildings popping up everywhere. The ambition here feels bigger, like cultivating a community that's economically energized, but also built to last, sustainable.
And it's worth noting, this isn't totally out of the blue. This plan, adopted back in November 2019, it actually builds on earlier ideas for the area. It looks at what's there now, lays out a future vision, and then details the strategies to, get there. It effectively updates and replaces an older plan, the Parkway Employment Center Sector Plan.
Okay, so why the change? What made them shift from that Parkway Employment Center idea to this new direction for the landing?
Well, a few things kind of came together. For one, the whole regional market for traditional office parks shifted. That original concept wasn't looking as economically sound anymore. Secondly, there were changes to state laws around developer contributions, the proffer system, which changed the financial side of things for development projects.
For proffer system, right? That's basically how towns get developers to pitch in for roads or schools to handle the impact of their projects. Yeah, so changes there would definitely ripple through.
Precisely. And then you had the federal government introduce these opportunity zone investment incentives that offered a new way to pull capital into certain areas. But maybe more fundamentally, there was just this growing sense that a more diverse, more resilient vision was needed, something beyond just offices. The aim shifted towards creating a more complete, vibrant community.
So it wasn't just reacting, but also sort of proactively looking for a better model for the future, a more sustainable one. So, okay, tell us about that future. What's the big idea, the overarching vision for the landing?
The core concept is setting up a sustainable, pedestrian-friendly, transit-oriented, and vertically mixed-use town center. Think of a central, walkable hub, really anchored by a lively arts and entertainment district. The plan really has these twin goals, sparking significant economic growth, but also carefully managing and protecting the area's natural assets.
Vertically mixed use. So we're not just talking sprawling zones for one thing, but buildings that might have like shops down below, offices above, maybe apartments on top.
Exactly that. It's about creating density and convenience right in a central spot. And geographically, it's a really strategic location, right on the southern edge of the national capital area, a key gateway into Prince William County. Plus, it's not starting from scratch. There are some pretty significant advantages already there.
Like what? What are these existing strengths the plan can build on?
Well, it's got excellent access to major roads, I-95, Prince William Parkway, Caton Hill Road. Huge pluses. It also has a very busy commuter park and ride lot, and it's near the Woodbridge VRE station, the train station, and also where they're planning a fast ferry terminal on the Potomac. These existing transport hubs are a really strong foundation.
That makes total sense. You've got the bones there. Now you can build around it, connect to it. What about the economic potential in the area itself?
The plan points to several good things. There's a lot of undeveloped land, often in big parcels, which gives you room to build. The access through the transit we just mentioned is a major draw for businesses and residents. And the surrounding region, it has a diverse, educated workforce, pretty low unemployment. So the talent pool is right there.
And it's not off on its own, right? There are other big economic centers nearby that could link up.
Exactly. You've got major drivers like Potomac Mills Mall, Quantico Marine Corps Base down south, Fort Belvoir up north, and the planned North Woodbridge small area plan just east. It creates this network of activity. And importantly, the plan also really recognizes and values the natural beauty of the area. It's about 737 acres in the study area.
Oh, yeah. I remember seeing that highlighted.
Yeah.
How does the plan propose to actually integrate those natural features with all this new development?
The idea is to weave these natural elements, things like stream valleys, wooded areas, right into the fabric of the new development, make it more appealing, more sustainable. They're even looking at things like power line easements as potential corridors for trails, seeing these features not as barriers, but as amenities, really.
Okay, so we get the why behind the shift and the big picture vision. Now let's dig into the specifics. How is this transformation actually going to look?
Mm.
The plan mentions different place types. What does that mean exactly?
Think of place types as distinct zones within the landing. Each one has its own planned character, its own level of development intensity. The town center is really the heart of it all, the central, most vibrant part.
And within that town center, there's a specific focus point, isn't there?
Exactly right. The transit center inside the town center is designed to be a key hub of activity. This is where you'll see the highest building densities, a big focus on walkability, and where that dynamic arts and entertainment district is supposed to grow. It's all planned to be super accessible by different kinds of transport.
So everything kind of radiates out from this transit center. What about the areas right around the town center? How are they planned?
As you move out from the town center, say, towards the north, the plan sees a gradual shift. Lower density residential areas, institutional uses like schools, parks, blending in better with the existing neighborhoods there. Then south of the town center, where you have that direct I-95 access, the focus shifts more towards light industrial uses.
Got it. So it's a deliberate slope of intensity with the town center as the peak. Now, the plan also talks about this transect and activity density framework. Sounds a bit like planning jargon. Can you break that down?
Sure. Think of the transect as a way to picture a spectrum of places, right? From very rural, natural areas all the way up to a dense urban core. The plan breaks the spectrum into different transect zones. Each zone, T1, T2, etc., represents a consistent mixed building density, land use intensity, street design, building shapes, open spaces. It's a tool for creating a more predictable and cohesive environment.
Okay, so it's a way to categorize and plan for different levels of urbanness, making sure the transitions between them feel right. What about activity density?
That one's simpler. It just combines the number of people living and working in a specific area per acre, gives you a sense of the buzz, the intensity of human activity there. The plan uses both the transect zones and activity density to strategically guide where different types of development go across the landing.
Okay, so how are these specific transect zones actually applied in the plan? Where's the highest intensity and where does it ease off?
The T6 zone, that's the highest intensity mixed use, think taller buildings, lots of different uses packed in, that's planned right around the proposed transit center. Makes perfect sense, right? Concentrate the most activity where the transit access is best.
High density right at the hub. Logical. What happens is you move just a bit away from there.
Right around the T6 zone, usually within about a quarter mile of the transit center, you get the T5 zone. Still high intensity mixed use, forming the core of the town center around a central green space. But maybe slightly lower buildings, a bit less density than T6, still very much the heart of things.
The main walkable part of the new town center?
Yeah.
And then another step down?
Exactly. T4, that's moderate mixed use. It acts as a transition zone around the T5 area. You also see T4 planned down in the southwest part of the study area, along Prince William Parkway, allowing for a bit more intensity along that major road.
And those light industrial areas we talked about earlier, which zone are they in?
Those are mostly T3 zones. Lower intensity, typically light industrial or maybe commercial uses. You'll find those planned in the northeast and southwest parts, generally along Caton Hall Road. T3 is also used strategically as another transition within the broader town center area itself. And T2 serves as an even lower intensity transition within the town center.
And what about preserving those crucial green spaces? How do they fit in this transect system?
That's where T1 comes in. It represents the lowest intensity and is specifically marked for parks and open space in various spots throughout the landing. So the framework isn't just about buildings, it strategically includes these green areas too.
That really paints a clear picture of how the different parts are supposed to develop and connect. Now let's zoom in on what these future land uses will actually look like. What are some key highlights in terms of specific places and uses?
Well, a central theme, like we've said, is this balance. Preserving and enhancing the green bits while concentrating new development in key spots. The proposed town center, with its arts and entertainment district and that vital transit center, is obviously huge. The plan also really pushes for a more connected street network within the town center to link existing and future communities better.
And I think I saw something about specific new road connections planned.
Yeah, the plan proposes extending Summit School Road. That creates a new north-south connection through the area, which should help traffic flow internally. It also calls for new east-west connections within that town center grid. Up north, closer to where people already live, there's a big planned node. A site for a new school about 42 acres and a large community recreation area, maybe 40 acres, with low-impact uses planned, sensitive to the nearby homes.
So putting community stuff near existing residents, smart. What about where new people might live? What's the housing plan?
The plan includes what they call conservation development for new residential areas in the northern part. The approach is about preserving natural features on the site, clustering the houses to maximize open space, and offering a mix of housing types for different needs.
Interesting approach to housing growth development balanced with nature. And back to that main town center. More detail there.
South of Horner Road and north of Caton Hill Road, that's where the really vibrant town center is meant to take shape. And like we said, further south, with good I-95 access, areas for more light industrial uses. Makes sense logistically. The plan also gets quite detailed with long-range land use classifications. It gives specific examples like town center community mixed use, arts and entertainment district, residential communities, and parks and open space, spelling out target densities and building heights. Really clarifies the intended character of each place.
So it's not just abstract maps. There are solid ideas about the types and scale of development for each part. Now, a huge part of making a community work is how people get around. What's the mobility transformation plan?
The big goal is a truly multimodal transportation network, a system that connects those key hubs we discussed and really supports the town center's growth by offering lots of travel options. Several key elements are part of this.
Okay, what are the main pieces then?
Well, one crucial bit is setting up a more connected street grid within the town center itself. The plan wants shorter blocks like 200 to 660 feet, which makes a huge difference for walkability, makes it easier to get around on foot or bike. The transit center is also seen as this central multimodal hub with amenities for bus, train, maybe ferry users, plus easy connections to other modes. Enhancing existing transit service and improving those last-mile connections, how you get from the bus stop to your actual destination, are big priorities too. And of course, safe, convenient infrastructure for bikes and pedestrians.
So definitely not just about cars, real alternatives. What about the existing park and ride lots? How do they fit in?
The proposed transit center is cleverly placed near the edge of the town center, so it's easy to get to from those existing commuter lots. Lets commuters easily switch to other transit or access the new stuff in the town center. The plan also looks at potentially adding new bus routes, especially along those proposed Amosal Road and Summit School Road extensions, to expand the transit network's reach.
Expanding transit reach. Good. And what about making it easier and safer to bike or walk?
There's a big push for better bike infrastructure. That means dedicated shared-use paths like the one planned along the Amosal-Horner Road extension, plus bike lanes on roads. The goal is to make even local streets feel safer and more comfortable for cycling. They're even exploring using those powerline rights-of-way for more off-road trails. Connect things up nicely. And remember, U.S. Bicycle Route 1 already runs through there on Miniville roads, so the plan aims to connect into that existing route better.
Connecting regional routes and adding local options.
Yeah.
Smart. And for walkers.
A comprehensive pedestrian network. Sidewalks on both sides of most streets, high-visibility crosswalks, and those shared-use paths for longer direct connections between different parts of the landing. Finally, the plan does propose changes to the road network itself. The Amosal Road extension to the Horner Road commuter lot, the Summit School Road extension, and that planned street grid in the town center with different urban street types designed for various traffic levels and pedestrian comfort. It's really about creating a walkable, bikeable place, not just one for cars.
It really sounds like they're thinking hard about how people will actually experience moving through this place no matter how they travel. Now, a critical piece of any sustainable plan is how it treats the environment. What's the plan for preserving the green at the landing?
The main goal here is a connected, working system of greenways, trails, open spaces, something that benefits both the environment and the people using the area. The plan lays out 4 main types of green and open spaces.
Okay, let's hear about these different green space types.
First up, natural resource areas. These are the sensitive ecological spots, stream corridors, the buffers along waterways, floodplains, important wooded areas, steep slopes. The plan stresses preserving these in their natural state, no new development allowed. But they do imagine trails within and along these areas for things like walking, nature watching, passive recreation. They're also looking at maybe transferring development rights from these sensitive spots to more suitable areas elsewhere.
Protecting the key eco areas and balancing that with development needs. Got it. What's next?
Then you have parks, plazas, and open spaces. These are mainly planned for the town center itself, intended as central gathering spots, amenity areas. The plan says they should be easy to get to by different transport modes, open to the public, even if privately owned, and buffered from traffic. They should have things like seating, lighting, shade, and fit the context, maybe allowing outdoor dining. Accessibility for everyone, public art, family-friendly features, all key considerations.
Creating those vital public spots in the urban core. What about greenery along the streets?
That's the streetscape category. In the town center, the vision is urban landscape zones with trees, plantings, street furniture, plus wide sidewalks and building fronts that allow for outdoor cafes, that kind of thing. Outside the town center, in less dense areas, it's a more suburban streetscape, wider landscape zones, sidewalks connecting neighborhoods. Finally, recreation fields, proposed for the northern corner near Minnieville Road. For active recreation for current and future residents, maybe sharing parking with the proposed school there.
So green space integrated at every level, from big preserves down to street trees. The plan also mentions specific green infrastructure tools. Can you give some examples?
Absolutely. These are specific techniques to boost sustainability, manage environmental impact. Examples include just preserving open space itself, putting green roofs on buildings to handle stormwater and save energy, using porous pavement so rainwater soaks in. Bioretention facilities like rain gardens to filter stormwater naturally, vegetated swales to slow down and clean runoff, and naturalized infiltration basins to help recharge groundwater. Lots of tools in the toolbox.
Sounds like a really thorough approach, not just saving green space, but using smart techniques to lessen the footprint of the new stuff. Now, the landing isn't a blank slate historically either. What's the plan for honoring the past as things change?
Right. The goal is to identify, protect, and really celebrate the history there, archaeological, architectural, cultural resources, especially those important to minority communities. Surveys have already found pre-contact and historic sites showing a long history of people living there.
So evidence of people there for a very long time. What kind of history are we talking about?
Well, the archaeology suggests Native American settlement going back thousands of years. More recently, there are architectural sites. Mount Olive Baptist Church is specifically noted as potentially eligible for the National Register of Historic Places. And importantly, the plan really highlights the history and significance of the Agnewville African American community, which was historically along Telegraph and Minnieville roads. That's a really crucial part of the local story.
Yes, absolutely. A vital part of the area's identity that needs recognition. Are there physical reminders still there?
Yes, the plan notes 3 existing cemeteries: Mount Olive Baptist Church Cemetery, the Gray Cemetery, and the Moore Cemetery. The plan sets out policies requiring cultural resource surveys before development on undeveloped land, ensuring proper care for any human burials found, and actively looking for funding for more historical research.
Proactive steps to find and protect these resources. What about making this history more visible, more accessible to people as the area develops?
The plan talks about partnerships with universities for history research internships, interpreting the area's story through research on Agnewville specifically, putting up historical markers, developing interpretive kiosks maybe in the new open spaces, potentially even interpretive trailed connecting sites. And developers are encouraged to weave this history into their designs, their placemaking to build that local identity.
That's really great to hear. A commitment not just to preserving, but actively sharing that history, making it part of the future identity. Okay, finally, let's talk economics. What's going to fuel this transformation? What's the plan for fueling the future through economic development?
The main goal is attracting and keeping high-quality businesses and services, create jobs, boost the area's economic health. The plan stresses using those existing assets we've talked about, the transit hub, the skilled workforce, the opportunity zone status being close to other job centers, the available land, the green space, and Prince William County's generally pro-business climate.
Building on those strengths, does the plan target specific industries? Where do they see the most potential?
It highlights several sectors with strong potential: advanced manufacturing, federal government contracting, healthcare, information communications technology, ICT, and logistics. Interestingly, advanced manufacturing and logistics are seen as having particularly strong potential, likely because of the good transportation access and workforce.
And what are the main strategies to actually get these businesses to come to the landing?
A key strategy is creating that mixed-use zoning in the town center. The idea is that this kind of environment, the mix of uses, walkability, transit access, will be really appealing to the innovative businesses and high-wage jobs they want to attract. The plan also stresses considering economic development goals in all future decisions, legislative or development-related.
Making sure planning decisions support the economic vision. What about specific tools or incentives?
The plan mentions using existing county incentives and also thinking about public investment things like putting money into public open spaces or maybe parking structures to make the area more attractive for private developers. And those significant tax benefits from the Federal Opportunity Zone designation are definitely highlighted as a major tool to draw investment.
So a mix of planning, public investment, and leveraging those opportunity zone benefits. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground today. What are the absolute key takeaways you think our listeners should hold on to about this plan for the landing?
I think the most compelling parts are the sheer scope of the transformation, envision creating this genuinely vibrant, walkable, transit-focused town center, the big push for an arts and entertainment district, the strong transit links, the clear commitment to preserving nature alongside development, and the real focus on economic opportunity. Those are all key, and doing it all while trying to genuinely